Hello, my name is Linda Comeau, and welcome to videos for the upcoming North American Systemic Constellations Conference in Virginia Beach, October 5th to 8th. And today my guest is Dr. Karl-Heinz Rauscher. And thank you for coming and spending some time with us today to explain your conferences.
Yes, of course. Hi, Linda.
Hi. So, Karl-Heinz, you have two presentations for the conference, a pre-presentation with your colleague Angwin St-Just, Men,
Right.
Women, and Peace, Exploring the Art, Adventure, and Mystery of Relationship, which sounds exciting,
Yes,
as well as your own conference presentation, Disease as a Chance, Your Body is Your Friend. So, welcome.
Yes. Well, the workshop, Man, Women, and Peace, is a workshop where we look at the relationship between men and women and put a spotlight on the background of conflict, fighting, and withdrawing in relationships. In the last years, we found out that personal and collective trauma, especially of former wars, influence the today's relationships of young people. And Angwin and me will show how we can find those connections, understand them, and find good solutions for men and women in the relationship, understanding that both are just one half of an whole.
This sounds exciting. This will be well attended.
Yes, it's a really worldwide interest in this issue, and there is a good reason for that. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Because it's really war issues, the conflict of even the Second World War or other wars in between, which can be like repeating fights within the couple relationships, and people don't even know that. They just see that they are fighting, that they are not enjoying themselves, that they are withdrawing from each other, and they don't understand where it's coming from. And of course, not every case, has this background, but many, and surprisingly many. So that's what we do there. And also not only war, of course, personal trauma or other traumas in the past could be one of the reasons too. So we have a wide field, and we always let us really guide from the information out of the field. That's a very nice, intensive, but also good work to find good solutions there.
That is super exciting. And tell us a little bit about Disease as a Chance.
Well, that's another really interesting thing. I do this workshop by myself during the conference, and I will work with symptoms, organs, and diseases, and then we see whether the symptom or the disease brings a chance, brings a message for you to understand, which is very important for you to understand in that time of your life. And if you understand and hear and understand the message, and you draw the consequences, the symptom and the disease will subside, or in the ideal case, go away completely. And that is a very interesting development, a new part of systemic constellation work, which I discovered and developed in the last 10 years or 15 years, to say.
Excellent. Can you tell us about a case that was interesting to you?
Of course. One case just recently in my practice here in Germany was a woman who had it's aplastic anemia. How can I describe that? You have in the bone marrow, you have all the cells who develop your blood cells, the red blood count, the white, and so on. Like if you have a problem there, you can have leukemia, or you can have just this kind of disease where your cells don't work anymore. So you have low blood, white blood count is way down. your thrombocytes are way down, and your leukocytes are way down. This is life-threatening. And this woman got, you need bone marrow from somebody, from a donor. And she got this like 10 years ago from her brother. But then this went away again, so she has a new problem. So she came to me, and the background was that the father of her father was committed war crimes in the Second World War. He was with the SS in Russia, and he killed many innocent and unarmed people. So it was like they were the, like right to the bone marrow, to very horrific scenes. And this was part of her unknown energetic field of the family where she was born into. And when she became like 23 years old, like the same age when he was there, she developed this disease. And we worked with it so she could give and the disease wanted just to remember the victims of that time, that because they belong to the system then. And so I'm very curious how it will go, but I expect that she will do better than before. And this is only one of 1,000 cases. Well,
fascinating, absolutely fascinating.
It is, because without this, really, your normal medicine doesn't really help if there is an energetic power who wants to bring the disease back.
Yes.
So it's, you just work, normal medicine, normal doctors work only with the body and body cells and medication molecules, and they don't know and understand that there's energy there, and information and some sense. And well, we look at it and we have good results with it.
Oh, I'm so fascinated. That's fantastic. I love, too, when you also discover something with the client that you can see a little shift in their face or their body, that it hits them, that it's correct.
Yes.
And
they feel it right away.
They feel it right away.
When I work with people in a one-to-one basis, I do the constellations there too, and within 2 hours they light up.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, this is so fascinating. Well, I have an interesting question for you.
Oh, yes.
One of our fans for the videos always ask me to ask you, how do you describe constellations to a stranger if you were at a cocktail party?
Well, the success of systemic constellation work is based on the fact that all information about human relations and connections and all the events of the past are stored in the air. Like digital information is stored in the air, for example, in a Wi-Fi field.
Oh.
You see, a TV program or a website, you need a receiving device, right?
Mm-hmm.
To get access to the knowing field of human relations, you need a receiving device too. And this receiving device is the human being itself, all of us. And the frame in which we can receive information from the knowing field is the systemic constellation work. In this frame, people function as receivers for the information we need to solve a problem or to heal a disease. This is the basic advantage of a systemic constellation. If we understand that properly, a whole new world opens up. Well, that's the basic.
I love it.
Access to information which is here already.
I love it. Excellent. Another question that we'd like to ask you is about coming to the conference. What advantages would people gain by coming to the conference? do you think?
Well, I see several reasons to come to the conference, to see the state of the art of systemic constellation work to begin with, and to find good ways of healing yourself and others, and to better understand the interconnected world in which we live. And one important thing, you can experience there yourself in a field of like-minded open people, in an atmosphere of mutual respect, innovation, and tremendous learning.
Tremendous.
Tremendous
That's
learning.
Wonderful definition there.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I don't want to take up too much of your time. I have one more question, though, if you are
Yes.
available. I noticed in the description of one of your workshops, Disease as a Chance, you are recorded as mentioning shamanic systems. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, that's really the most exciting development of the last 2 or 3 years in my work. And it has a long history, of course, but 2 or 3 years ago, I introduced this work into the constellation work itself. And what I do in certain situations, when the normal tools of constellation work doesn't go any further, doesn't help, especially with victims and perpetrators, I go into a position like a systemic position, and there I mentally ask healers or ancient healers, wherever, whether they could maybe heal the field if they want and if they can. And then I'm in like a medium within this position, and then things happen. It's like with gestures and with voice. So I call this kind of shamanic work, which I do, healing voices, because sometimes it's like strange or ancient languages, and you don't know the words. Nobody knows the words, but everybody understands. And after this, it's only a few minutes. I go, or people in the positions, they comment how they feel now, and it's really extraordinary. Like victims laying on the ground dead, before they stand up and open up to the sky, like they would go, their souls like be traumatically or captured in the trauma, and then after all these decades or years, they can stand up and their souls can go where they should go. And they just, the people in the positions, they just comment this. And of course, the client feels better, because if the field in the background is healed or in the process of healing more than before, they feel released, and it's much easier for them to give the burden back, to give it up, to let it go. And that's a really powerful work, which I'm glad that it opened up to me.
That sounds fascinating. Wow, that's the reason to come to the conference alone, almost. Well, thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate it. And for those of you that have not registered for the conference, you can go to our website, which is nasconstellations.org. And Dr. Karl-Heinz Rauscher is going to be there on the 5th as well as the 6th. Are you staying for the whole conference, actually, Karl-Heinz?
Yes, of course.
Oh, excellent.
I won't go away.
So there'll be a chance to chat with you. Okay, well, thank you again for your time. I really appreciate it. Have a great day.
Thank you, Linda. Bye-bye.
Bye.